Yo, elephant in the room. I hope everyone is doing well. Actually, I have something in my mind that I've been thinking about today that I want to share. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this idea of somehow that people, I don't understand also how people enter themselves into it. People seem to get married without understanding the contractual terms of getting married. It's like people get themselves in a contract that they don't know. I don't know how we still find ourselves here. It's so confusing because at this point, I would assume this should be common knowledge. You know, before upapa, and sending the letter to your girlfriend's family, right, telling them that the uncles are coming on the weekend. Before you do that, it is important that you sit down and draft a contract of marriage that you wish to be married under and have your partner sign it before you do any of that thing. Anything, before you do any of those things. So this should be sorted. At least this is how I think people should understand. Like, to say when I'm getting married to you, what do I mean? We should be clear about this. If you don't want to do that, you can set up a prenup, whatever you want to do, right? Before you even go on to actually initiate anything, right, that suggests marriage, at least in customs, right? Okay. Now, when you get married in customary marriage, as for an example, Zulu people will say, ushade wezulu, right? So it's ushade wezulu, right? That's what they will say. You are automatically entered into community of property, right? Now, if, for an example, because people also think this takes the actual wedding for you to be regarded as married in customary law. Hey, bro, you're gonna be surprised. The mere fact of actually sending the letter to say you are coming, you have activated yourself and placed yourself in a tricky situation because you have activated a custom in customary marriage. You've activated a tradition, a culture for people who are getting married. You've placed yourself in the process of customary marriage. That could be argued against you. Even if you don't pay lobola at the end and what's not, maybe you end up not following the full custom, but that could be used against you. That's why I'm saying people should make sure that they draft things and have understanding of what they are getting themselves into before doing anything. Now, when you go on and get married in customary marriage, what does this imply? This implies that you are married in community of property. This implies that whatever that you own, this person has half of it. Not just that. If someone has debts, for an example, right, that they occur or something like that during they take on debts or they have debts and you guys get married, you guys are going to share those things. You guys are going to share everything, bro. That's what it means to put yourself in this situation. So I do not understand. Of course, I'm referring to the case of Black Coffee. I do not understand why is it almost like a surprise or that's something people don't know, that they are getting themselves into it when they get married in customary marriage. I have no idea. Now, I have to say something. It is also very important to note that because there's this feel that is almost like the law is made for women. No, the law is the law. Because if you are the guy too who gets married to a rich woman, you can also get protection from the same law, right? So the law is the law. It just so happens that women tend to benefit more from the law, I guess, because naturally, usually, rather, maybe the structure of the relationship is that the man is the breadwinner or the man has more and stuff like that. But you also, by far also, you still find cases of actually women too finding themselves in the same situation whereby they need to pay spousal support and all those type of things. Okay. Now, let's go to the case of Black Coffee and just try to understand what happened here. So this, right now I'm reading, is the legal matters between Enhle Mbali, Mlotshwa and Nkosinathi Maphumulo have involved the two distinct issues with different court findings. 1. Divorce and marital regime case, Joburg High Court. Enhle Mbali recently won a significant victory in High Court regarding the terms of their divorce. Customary marriage validity. The Johannesburg High Court ruled that the customary marriage between Enhle Mbali and Black Coffee is valid under South African law. Why is that? Because Black Coffee did the things that I was talking about, got married to Enhle Mbali in a Zulu traditional wedding in 2011. Okay. Marital regime. As a result of customary marriage being valid, the court ruled that their marriage in community of property, their marriage is in community of property. This means all assets and debts that occurred during their marriage must be shared equally, 50-50. That's how it happens. That's the contract you are getting yourself to. So this idea that you can just get married to someone in customary marriage without extra, not to say it's wrong to get married like that, but you should know this is what you are getting yourself to. Like both men and women, you should know this is what you're getting yourself to. I just get confused with people just not knowing. I don't know. You don't know. I have no idea. I'll get confused how you don't know this actually. Anyway, enter the prenup contracts. Basically, the court invalidated a prenup contract, ANC, so which is that Enhle Mbali and had signed in 2017, finding that she was misled and did not receive proper legal advice when signing it. The invalidation of the ANC cemented the marriage as being in community of property because the guy was married in customary marriage through like umshado weZulu, as Zulu people would say. Now, I need to say something here. I think I'm not sure about how the judgment, for example, the court got to this judgment, but I would argue that because the prenup that Enhle Mbali signed was in 2017, right? This is when they were having a white wedding, right? She signed this contract and they had a white wedding. The argument that I'm having is this, is that 2011 marriage, basically, which is a contract of customary marriage, right? I feel like that is the strong case that worked against Black Coffee in this instance, because he couldn't take off a contract that they've already had for 2012, like so many years, actually over 6 years basically, right? They've had this contract of customary marriage already, and then in 2017 have her signed a prenup to change that customary marriage that was already in place. I don't think that's what's going to work for him anyway, right? But if in the case of, let's say, Black Coffee has done the prenup prior, like doing the Zulu wedding in 2011, then that would make sense. Then he would have a case, actually, in my opinion. I feel like this judgment of actually taking away and invalidating that contract of 2011, then would be, to me, then this would be a terrible judgment. Actually, I would say he would actually be able to appeal that and probably win it at some point. I would argue that in a case of, let's say, he gave this prenup prior the Zulu wedding that he had, then he would have a leg to stand on for real, bruh. He'll definitely have a hand in this case. He would definitely have a hand. But because the prenup that he made her to sign was in 2017, yeah, because this thing that to say she was misled and was not, and she signed it without like good basically proper legal advice, come on, that's bullshit, bro. You can't have someone signing, because then I can say then also in the Black Coffee, yes, Black Coffee, I could then also argue that, okay, also if that's the case, when I was getting married to in community of property, when I was getting married to in customary law or customary marriage, I didn't know that I was getting myself in community of property. That's what also, because then Black Coffee can argue that too. You know, so that's bullshit, because I can literally say I also didn't know that getting married in customary marriage then implies that someone is taking half of my things. I would argue those things too, because if they can let her go by saying she was misled, she signed without good legal advice, meaning she had agreed on a contract of a prenup, but then now that's the way she's getting out of it. Yeah, that wouldn't be fair. But the fact that they were married in customary marriage for so long and then signed a prenup after so late too, yeah, I don't think that's hold for my guy. Yeah, in this case, it doesn't hold for him, for real. It doesn't hold. Yeah, I don't see it. I think the judgment in this case will be correct, you know. And then spousal maintenance is the kids maintenance. I understand all the time. In a case like this, there is nothing. Yo, bro, I don't know how guys keep getting married. Like, not both. I don't know how people, let me say that. I don't know how people keep getting married in customary marriage and fucking not understand it. Because the spousal maintenance thing, bro, is the fucking worst thing ever. Like, it's the worst thing ever. I don't know how the law actually allows the type of thing to happen. Because the spousal support, like the type of argument is to say, I really disagree with this, but anyway, according to the law, the fairness is not the fairness in which we would understand it in like just our day-to-day life. The fairness they are focusing on here is in terms of spousal support is the fairness in distribution of the assets. So which implies then that if you are the person that has more, you will be the one that obviously will lose more of your stuff to accommodate your partner, right? Okay, that's one. But spousal support or maintenance also implies that as a person who has, you have to provide for this person until they die. This, I have a big problem. The biggest problem I have is with this shit right here, the spousal support. I have the biggest problem with it. Why? It's because in the spousal support, the support is only looked at from a perspective of monetary gains. It's only looked at on those bases. So in other words, if I have more money and my partner doesn't have more money, they get to take 50% of my share. But there is nothing of their own 50% that I get. How is that fairness? That's the most, like, bro, I will never be found in this bullshit. Never. Like, in my life, like, I would never be found in this bullshit. It's the most bullshit of all bullshit. Like, of all. It's crazy, bro. How the hell is that another person can take half of your thing, but there's no half that they give? There's nothing that they ask on the other side to pay. Whether it's a woman on the other side or a man. If the other side doesn't have money and the other side has money, the side that doesn't have money, they just take half of everything, but there's no half of saving that they continue providing to the other side. It's the most bullshit ever. So, because one of the arguments, for an example, they would argue that this person was your support structure, your everything, so they contributed to your achievements that you have. Okay, fair enough, and they deserve half. Fair enough. But then the spousal maintenance asks you to continue paying them and supporting them, but doesn't ask them to continue serving you like they were supporting you to be able to do their job. That they were arguing initially that this job you have and everything you are able to do is because you have the support of this partner. But now on the divorce, they cannot ask your partner to continue have sex with you. They cannot ask your partner to continue supporting you, to talk good to you, to respect you, to take care of the kids and be kind to you and the kids. They can't ask them that. They don't ask them anything. There is nothing the other side has to do. It's so weird, and the law is just and fair. I do not understand how that thing is just. I have no idea. Because also, when you look at it from a psychological perspective, the side that's supposed to provide, they're also putting themselves under stress, under physical. For example, look at Black Coffee, even has, like, guy is working with one hand, you know. He also has his own struggles. He nearly died in Brazil on a flight. Where was his partner? But that partner will have to get money from him all the time. He doesn't, without, the partner doesn't even need to support the guy. She doesn't need to do anything. You know, but you still have to maintain and continue serving a relationship that doesn't exist anymore. Serving a marriage that's not there. It's the most, I will never be found in this nonsense. This one rubbish I will never be found in. It's just crazy to me that this is a thing. It's so crazy. Anyway, spousal maintenance. The court ordered Black Coffee to pay spousal maintenance to Enhle Mbali, of course, right? So this is distinct from an earlier 2020 ruling that addressed interim maintenance and was reportedly in Black Coffee's favor at the time. But this new ruling is final determination in the divorce. And man, My guy, that's what happens, dog. It is, bro, what it is. It's a matter of customary marriage, my man. That's what happens. The protection order case, Rustenburg Magistrates, okay, this one failed. So findings reports from the time indicated that the courts reserved judgments on her application for a protection order after their initial appearance. Subsequently, reports confirmed that the courts later dismissed the application for a protection order. Yeah, that was spiteful. I think even her, she kind of addressed the type of case that is more like just being angry and not wanting to let go. Yeah, I kind of get that. Yeah, man, that just is what it is when it comes to that, bro. Like, yeah, I feel like this type of thing, when you put in a court orders to someone too, and you report those type of things, like for example, to say you want a protection order. Yeah, to me, it always feels like someone trying to keep a man or a partner from their kids, when if it's not really happening, because it was clear there were no evidence, there's nothing. And the thing that she mentioned is like form of abuse, actually, that she was putting protection order on as a case, which is nonsense, bro. Like, it was so obvious that she was lying on that case. But of course, people are spiteful because they're not happy and they're angry that they're getting divorced to their partner. So that's also understandable. But anyway, those are my views, bro. When you get married in customary law, bro, go read, bro. I don't understand. Go read. Can't get married and you don't know what marriage means and implications of this thing. It's the biggest contract of your life, dog. It's the biggest contract of your life. You can't be signing that contract and not understand the implications of the contract. That's what I'm saying, bro. Anyway, shouts, elephants in the room. Shout out to everyone. And thank you, guys. Please subscribe, people. Press the like button and subscribe. Share your friends, whoever. Thank you. Dankong yabo.